It's been some 80 years since Henry Hardin Cherry founded the institution which later became Western Kentucky University here on the hilltop in Bowling Green. Since that time, Western has committed itself to achieving excellence in a number of clearly defined areas. Hi, I'm David Lee. Here at Western, we're determined to provide the finest possible studio, classroom, and laboratory instruction for all our students. We are committed to encouraging the free flow of creative expression, and we are dedicated to using the resources of this institution to reach out into the wide neighborhoods around us to provide public service. This latter goal is the focus of our program today. In a very real sense, the mere existence of this university is indispensable to progress. Universities attract talented people as members of its faculty, staff, and student body. Many of them decide to spend their entire lives in the surrounding area. Most of the graduates of Western remain in Kentucky. Also, universities make possible a variety of enterprises which otherwise might be available only in large cities. Symphony orchestras, theater companies, and distinguished lecturers all contribute to the richness of life in the area. In addition to these projects so basic to any university experience, Western Kentucky University has recently launched new efforts to contribute to the economic development of Kentucky and to provide increased access to higher education for its citizens. All across the campus, programs nurturing links between the college and the community are working to build a better life for all of us in the Commonwealth, assuring the quality of the water we drink, improving the output of our farmers, providing expertise for government agencies. All these things are part of what we do at Western Kentucky University. I asked Charles Kupchella, Dean of the Ogden College of Science, Technology, and Health, to introduce us to some of the things his college is doing to support economic growth.
We, like many universities, have moved into more direct support for moved into arenas where we're providing more direct support for economic development. This takes the form of actually offering training programs, in high-tech areas, for groups of small industries, let's say in our region, none of which individually perhaps could mount a training program, but because we can bring several of them together, several dozen in some cases, we can put on a training program for workers, so we do some of that. We are engaged in applied research projects, direct technical assistance to industry, and sometimes in response to requests for help. As we always have, do some basic research, and this in a much more general way, a much more long-term way, also supports economic development.
Make this move, and then we'll try it out.
As director of one of Western's most innovative programs, the Center for Manufacturing Technology, Professor Ken Musnug is at the forefront of the university's involvement with economic development.
The Center for Manufacturing Technology has been established to create a transfer of technology between the university and industries. And basically what we're doing is going out and trying to train industry on the new and emerging technologies, the computer-aided drafting like this laboratory, computer-aided manufacturing that you saw downstairs, statistical process control, and other things that they need in order to upgrade their workforce, take advantage of these new technologies to promote their own economic development.
Has all this made it easier to place students when they're ready to graduate from Western?
Oh yeah, that effect has been making itself known real solid over the past few couple of years. Of course, we still are building the program. We've been building it over the last 4 years, actually, and still are. Probably never will stop. But yes, that's certainly starting to make itself known. The students are getting very marketable. And the program, by the way, that I'm talking about, I haven't mentioned yet. The program's called CIMT, Computer Integrated Manufacturing Technology. And the CIMT program involves the entire interaction of where does the computer fit into the manufacturing process. Part of it is CAD, part of it, as I just explained, is computer-aided manufacturing and so forth, all the way down the line. In that undergraduate program, they learn all those elements. How is the computer coming into control of production of a part?
Agriculture is also an important part of the university's involvement in economic development. and the Agricultural Mechanization Program in Western's Department of Agriculture was recently selected as one of 4 winners nationwide in a competition sponsored by R.J. Reynolds Nabisco for excellence in agricultural instruction. Luther Hughes, head of the department and president of the American Association of State Colleges of Agriculture and Renewable Resources, tells us how another program in his area, the Agricultural Exposition Center, contributes to economic development.
We certainly are proud of our Agricultural Exposition Center. Without question, and I've traveled all over the country to many different universities, we do have the finest facility of that kind that any university has. It is a facility that has a main arena that seats about 2,500, and we have a variety of kinds of events. It is an agricultural exposition center, but at the same time we have some rather non-agricultural events there as well. We have about 100,000 people each year that attend events at the Agricultural Exposition Center, and our best indication from the Tourism Commission is that people who come and spend the night and who attend events there and spend the money that they traditionally spend would generate about $10 million to the Bowling Green economy.
Another Western program, the Small Business Development Center, housed in the College of Business Administration, makes the expertise of the university available to area businesses. Center Director Richard Horn talks about the services his organization can provide.
We have a broad range of services. Generally, a lot of our clients originally come in for financial packaging, and we'll prepare SBA loan packages, assist them in cash flow projections and in business plans that they can submit to the bank. We also deal in marketing research, bookkeeping assistance. We call upon faculty members in the College of Business oftentimes to assist an individual client.
A client of the Small Business Development Center, Kurt Sullivan, owner of Omni Meats, describes his work with the center.
They've assisted us with accounting procedures, bookkeeping habits. They've assisted us in preparing business development expense grants, which we have received as a result of their participation with us on it. And they've given a lot of moral support, which is needed, because when you're just starting a business, there's a lot of days where you're down and you just need a cheerleader in your corner. So they provided that service too.
A manufacturer in Monroe County about 3.5 years ago came into our offices. At that time he had 50 employees and sales of about $500,000. Since then we've worked with him for those 3.5 years, and his sales have grown to approximately $15 million, and he has about 700 employees. And in that county, that represents 15% of the non-agricultural employment for the county.
Do you think the Small Business Development Center would be helpful to other small businessmen in your situation?
Absolutely. You really can't discount the services that they offer. They've been invaluable to our operation. We went from a company that literally was selling maybe a couple of $100,000 of product a year to well over several million. And I credit a lot of that with the SBA and the Western Campus SBDC office.
Although the university works extensively with private industry, Western also encourages area development through its work with local government. Professor Wayne Hoffman of the Center for Local Government talks about Western's ability to assemble a team of experts at low cost.
Well, the idea behind the center, it's a university center, and so really we can marshal the talents of the entire university community as long as we have the cooperations of the various colleges and as long as we have time available. As a university center, we can offer governments, we can offer local, the cities, the expertise of our academic community. I think people sometimes forget just how the treasure chest of expertise we have here at the university, and the great expertise that we can bring to various real world problems. I give you an example. We're currently involved in working on the comprehensive plan of Bowling Green, Kentucky, Bowling Green, Warren County. And we've got 6 students working right now full-time for us who are out collecting land use data, and students who will continue for a couple of years now in plotting that data and analyzing that data, helping professors analyze that data until we bring that plan to its final fruition.
Can you give us some examples of some of these processes or some of these kinds of expertise in action?
Sure. I think the plan's a perfect example of a kind of team that the university can put together. We've got 16 faculty working on that plan from 4 different colleges and probably 6, 7, 8 different departments. For example, Dr. Jim Davis is doing the transportation element, and Jim is very well trained, has a PhD out of Northwestern, and he'll be doing the majority of the transportation planning for this comprehensive plan. We've got Carl Shelf out of Government Department who's going to be working on policy analysis, John Parker working on the various government entities within the Warren County area. We got John Russell out of Ogden College who will be doing a noise analysis. We got Nick Crawford doing an environmental analysis. And I could go on. We got 16 people working on this, and to put a team like this together in private industry would cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. And we're not out to compete with private industry, but we are out to do a good plan for Bowling Green. And they cannot compete with the talent that we can put together right here at Western Kentucky University.
Western also has a long tradition of working with another agency of local government, the school system. I visited with J.T. Sandifer, Dean of the College of Education and Behavioral Sciences. Your college has been extremely successful in terms of attracting grants. What role does that play in terms of the economic development of a region?
I think rather significantly. For example, our faculty currently has over $2,100,000 in active extramural grants. By that I mean that these are monies that are in addition to our state budget. And these dollars, approximately $2 million per year, are spent basically in the community, in the region, and in the state. Primarily through additional salaries and services that are purchased, equipment, supplies that are bought for these projects. So I really believe that we're contributing probably, certainly more than $1 million and upward of $2 million a year into the local economy.
Generally speaking, when a faculty is very successful in terms of attracting grant funds, it's also a faculty that's very successful in terms of research and very actively involved in research. Is that also true in the case of your college?
I think to sort of draw that picture together a little better, a person from Texas A&M University did some research within the past year in which he attempted to locate the 50 top colleges of education in the nation in terms of their contributions to new knowledge in teacher education. This individual used a fairly simplistic methodology because he simply tried to find the number of articles that were written in the 3 leading teacher education journals and the number of national presentations made in the 3 largest educational associations of teacher education. That being the American Educational Research Association, the Association of Teacher Education, and the American Association of Colleges for Teacher Education. In listing the top 50 contributors in the United States, our college, Western Kentucky University, was rated number 16. I think what's significant about that is that all of the other institutions were major universities, major state universities, land-grant universities, and we were only one of 2 institutions that did not produce a doctorate. I think that says a great deal for the productivity of our faculty.
Kentucky educators, as well as those from many other professions, stand to profit from another WKU initiative, joint doctoral programs. These programs enable a student to complete a large part of his or her work for the PhD while still in residence at Western and doing some other work with another university. Dean Elmer Gray of the Graduate College explains the value of joint doctoral programs.
I guess we'd first look at that, David, as to why doctoral graduate programs are valuable to any school. I think if you look at other states and other universities, you find that generally where you have doctoral programs, you have more research going on, you have more services available for students. The presence of doctoral programs attracts industry, if you will. It makes it easier for the university to be competitive for grants. By and large, it means that if you have doctoral programs that you can attract more, perhaps higher quality graduate students, likewise graduate faculty. So for the institution that does not have graduate programs of its own, then if it can cooperate with some other institution, it can share in some of those benefits.
If service to the community is one important Western tradition, then another equally valued tradition is our commitment to making higher education as accessible as possible to the citizens of Kentucky. In recent years, Western has experienced an enrollment increase of in excess of 20%, and the university now has a larger enrollment than at any time in its history. A recent freshman class was the largest freshman class of any university in the Commonwealth. As part of our effort to reach citizens who have not been a part of college in the past, Western has recently established a community college. Community College Director Jerry Bowles talks about its rapid growth.
Community college plays two very distinct roles. A couple of reasons for establishing the community college. First of all, we're established to appeal directly to the non-traditional student. Business, industry, and that sort of thing. Take education, make it more accessible, more available to those groups of students who don't fit into the usual university definition of a college student being, 18 to 22-year-old student. A community college in and of itself, I guess you might say, complements the programs and courses and so forth that Western has available through its regular four-year programs.
How is a community college class at Western different from a regular university class on this campus?
Well, really, there is very little difference as far as the instruction is concerned. If you take English 100 at the community college, the instruction you receive should be the same as English 100 that you take from the university. The material that you cover, the assignments that you have are going to be pretty much the same. The difference is at the community college that class size is going to be 20 or less. At the university, it's more than likely going to be somewhere probably around 30. But we do have smaller class sizes across the board, which enables us to give the students more individual attention, the teacher to help these people more one-on-one, mainly because we do get a good number of people who are coming back after having been out of school for a number of years, or they may be underprepared.
Western also realizes that many potential students cannot come to the main campus in Bowling Green, so it reaches out to those students through its extended campus program. I asked Elmer Gray, the director of that program, to describe it for us.
An extended campus program is a program designed to serve the non-traditional student. If we look at Kentucky's past, we see that for many years, approximately 40% of the high school graduates in Kentucky go directly into college. The other 60% have generally gone into the workforce. After being in the workforce for a period of time, I think these people perhaps mature a bit and realize the value of education. At the same time, the companies that have employed these people are interested in seeing them advance within the company, so that then there's a realization that they would like to pursue additional study. Now, however, at that point, you have a situation where they have other responsibilities. They're at work during the time that the university is open. So if we're going to be able to serve those students, we've got to take the things out to where they are, offer them in the evenings and so on, so that they can have access to the programs. So if we're going to serve those non-traditional students, we almost have to take the opportunities out to them.
How many sites are included in Western's extended campus program?
Well, Western has 27 counties in its primary service area. We have divided that service area into 4 regions and have a center in each of those regions. So in a given semester now, we'll have approximately 2,000 students enrolled in courses in the extended campus.
As part of its commitment to bring more students into its programs, Western is making a significant effort to attract black students. Phyllis Gatewood is the Director of Minority Recruitment.
The Office of Black Student Recruitment worked with black students throughout the state of Kentucky, Tennessee, and Indiana. What we try to do is assist high school students with materials from the university, tell them what it's like being a black student on a predominantly white campus, and let them know about some resources that are available here at Western for our black students. Also, we work in the area of financial aid, admissions, degree planning, and things like this. We also work real close with the with students, especially in Kentucky, in the pre-college curriculum, making sure that they're following the adequate course load it would take for them to apply for Western and be accepted as an incoming freshman. We do have quite a few black non-traditional students that are coming back to school. Our office tries to assist these students in a large number of ways, not only the application or admissions to the university, but other resources outside the university in our community, such as child care, services through the Bureau of Social Services, because we do have some single-parent mothers that are returning to school. So it's a lot of areas that we have to have these students in order to retain them as students at the university. We also help them to seek out a degree that will fit more into their schedule. A lot of these people work full-time. They do have a family to maintain at home as well, so we want them to look into some more viable options that we would hopefully see on down the road in 2 or 3 years, that they would graduate from the university and receive a degree from the university.
Western's most ambitious effort to increase the accessibility of higher education is the creation of a new campus in Glasgow. Since its dedication, the Glasgow campus has opened new opportunities for citizens in the eastern part of the university's service area.
As we look at Glasgow and that region, we've been very pleased with the success that we've had. Now, thinking back to those statistics that I mentioned a moment ago, when we look at the college-going rate in Western's primary service area, it tends to be lower in that region than in our other regions. So that there's a great need, if you will, for these opportunities there. And of course, that's the very area where we've realized our phenomenal growth with our extended campus program. In Glasgow, for example, we just began there a few years ago with a few courses, and we're projecting more than 100 courses on the Glasgow campus for this fall semester. So we're reaching a lot of students in that area. Students who would not come on to Bowling Green for these experiences.
The Glasgow campus is important to people in the counties surrounding Glasgow and to the 5th District for a number of reasons. One is that the high school graduation and the college graduation rates in those areas are very low. People have not been able to attend college. Another factor is that a number of the citizens, their incomes are below the poverty level, and getting to go to college is a major accomplishment, a major challenge. The Glasgow campus enables these people to attend college while they can live at home and work, and it affords them an opportunity that they have never had in the past.
Perhaps the major contribution an institution of higher education makes to the economic development of the region is the creation of a cultural atmosphere that prides itself in the educational level of its citizenry, that provides cultural activities for that community, cultural activities like art, music, theater, dance, library facilities, and so forth. This translates to some degree into dollars because people with higher educations earn more money, spend more in taxes, provide more services to the community, take education at every level more seriously, I think, than perhaps communities that don't have access to an institution like Western.
We must never forget the foundation that has been laid at Western through the past years, the foundation of excellence and quality in education and service to the area. The great leaders that we have had in Henry Hardin and Kelly Thompson and Dear Downing, they set the foundation which enabled us to build and to continue to grow, and without sacrificing quality. And so it's a combination of things that excites us as far as the direction of Western is concerned. We have this foundation. Without it, we couldn't build anything. But we have 4 outstanding colleges in place. We have dedicated faculty. We have an administration with vision. And with all of that in place, in the direction that will help improve economic development, which is our goal in Western Kentucky, we are a catalyst at Western, and our leaders and our future leaders will be dedicated to continued quality and continued expansion with quality in mind. And so hopefully that we can continue to deliver what we have done in the past based on the strong foundations that we have that have been placed for us, and that we can build to the next level and make a dramatic impact on economic development in our region and in the Commonwealth.
In 1892, Henry Hardin Cherry laid down his goals for the institution he hoped to build: to be progressive, to seek the recognition of the public, and to let the reputation of the school be sustained by real merit. A century after he wrote those words, his school, Western Kentucky University, is still committed to fulfilling those principles. We are a part of the community which sustains us. We are determined to demonstrate to the citizens of this Commonwealth the value of a strong university. And we want our reputation to be determined by the standard President Cherry established: real merit.